Unfortunately, North America's run at MSI 2024 has come to a close. We reached the exact same spot that we did last year, but the question is, was it still a better tournament? I think the unanimous general consensus is that yes, North America performed better this year than last year, but I just want to dive a little bit deeper into that because we've got a lot going for us. I just want to show people why they should be excited about North America, and that does also come with some bad news as well. Let's start with the one really negative part of this, and that yes, FlyQuest imploded at this tournament. They got knocked out before even reaching the knockout stage. And if you're comparing that to the second seed last year of Golden Guardians arguably looked like the stronger team in the tournament. They were able to take a game off of BLG before dropping to Cloud9 3-0 due to the way the tournament was set up. Luckily, we avoided that entirely this year. Yeah, they just dropped the ball hard. I don't want to pander on that too much, but there actually is breaking news from Sheep Esports that Jensen has been benched from FlyQuest. So hopefully we avoid the problem that happened with Golden Guardians last year in terms of the fall off come summer. Maybe this motivates the team and you have that change that's needed, but they still need to replace their assistant coach or positional coach, Richard, who also notably is officially let go from FlyQuest today. So the org is going to have some pretty massive changes going into the next split. So it's not even really worth talking about them at this point because like there's nothing else I can say. They dropped the ball so hard and it then becomes reliant on the teams above them to make up for that. So let's look at Team Liquid. After starting off the tournament pretty horribly, losing 0-3 to Top Esports, they were able to bounce back and beat the second seed out of Europe in Fnatic. When you're comparing this directly to last year, it's automatically better because we actually didn't win a single best of 5 series against anybody that was not North America. Like Cloud9 lost 0-3, Golden Guardians lost 0-3, and then Golden Guardians lost 0-3 to Cloud9, and then Cloud9 lost 0-3 to, I think, BLG. We literally didn't win a single game. So to be able to take it off Fnatic, while we never really got that chance last year, and it's not really a fair comparison, the one series that you have to look at is the T1 versus Team Liquid. Where, yes, I clickbaited to a certain extent saying that Team Liquid could win it, and I still think my point remains true. There is a very clear case where Team Liquid could have won this series. They were not good enough to be clear. And I don't like people that come into this meeting like, oh, the 3-1, it could have been a 3-0 Team Liquid. Well, it wasn't. Team Liquid didn't close out those games. They had advantages in game 1. They should have won game 2, but our macro kind of chucked it. APA got caught, and we just kept dying 1-on-1 after on repeat, and then eventually gave up the Elder Dragon, which cost us, unfortunately, the entire game. But rather than just floundering out, rather than same thing, going 0-6 against the East, we did bounce back. We were able to win a game. Still with some questionable decisions in terms of trading that final Baron for Hextech Elder or Hextech Soul. And that will still be a question mark. But luckily, we were able to catch out Faker. We were able to end that game. And all of a sudden, there was this hope until we drafted Lilia into Varus, Ashe. I don't know what world we thought that was ever going to work, but alas, it is what it is. So we get knocked out. But that series felt different. Yawn was playing pretty well once he shook off the nerves of game 1. Was it sloppy? Yes. Are either of these teams, in my opinion, going to be able to beat BLG or Genji? No, absolutely not. But the point is that we kept it close with the second seed from Korea. And when you translate that over to Worlds, yes, that actually does look really good. And more importantly, our work ethic is incredible. Now, I have to admit, I went at Team Liquid last year specifically for their comments on the work ethic, on how they're going to work harder than everybody else, how Yawn and Harry were just going to be this superstar, like grind it out alongside Pyosik and Summit, and when they sputtered out in spring, I was kind of happy about it because it felt obnoxious to say like, oh, we're just going to work harder than everybody else, but there had to be a way that you could work smarter, no? Because clearly that's what the other teams were doing if Team Liquid was grinding. And I think the truth of the matter is that I have to apologize for that because I was wrong. Simply put, while yes, there are still things that we need to be smarter on, and I don't think just blanketly working hard is going to be the right answer, but I think working hard on the right things is. And that's what Spawn and this coaching staff of Team Liquid brings. And it's something that G2 has set the mold for. And the reason why TL looks up to them. I'm sad we never got to see a best of 5 series between the two. And in all honesty, we probably would have gotten our asses kicked because I think G2 is on a whole nother level right now as everything is clicking for them at the right moment. But G2 truly is the Western GOAT that we should all be looking up to. And they are something that clearly Team Liquid was molding themselves after. We were trying unique picks for us. And while the Lilia didn't work out, and I still think that's like a draft blunder in that moment, I don't want us to not have our unique picks. Team Liquid never once sacrificed their identity for the sake of this tournament, and because of that, they were able to go farther. Yawn, even in moments where he felt uncomfortable in this T1 series, was able to find comfort later on and help carry the series and smash bot lane over Gumayusi and carry it. Like, actually think about this. In this series, you can almost definitively say that Yawn and Core JJ played better than Keria and Gumayusi. In what world would we have considered that a normal or even plausible statement just a year ago, especially when people were asking for Yawn and APA to get dropped from this roster? And I still saw comments of people asking for APA to get dropped, which I'm not gonna lie, he still has his mistakes, but that doesn't mean you stop trying. The reason why Team Liquid felt so different in this tournament compared to years past is because they were the roster that, while they have some new players, feels like they stuck it out despite times being tough and like want to keep the same roster, same core as much as they possibly can. It almost feels like Team Liquid has turned a new leaf to a certain extent. Now, granted, they can make roster changes at the end of this year and that becomes irrelevant, and maybe they will have to, who knows. But between NRG last summer and now Team Liquid this spring, it really feels like we have teams that are being rewarded for putting their nose down, grinding the game, learning, and trying to be smart about it. Because at the end of the day, if you think that Korea and China aren't grinding the same amount of hours that we are, you're just wrong. But we can do things that find unique advantages over other regions. Granted, the bot lane swaps, or like the lane swaps in general, definitely helped us out. I'm not going to deny that. I will always like take help where we can get it on that front. And the meta is going to be changing drastically with the new patch that's going to be live in League of Legends. But we should walk out of this MSI feeling comfortable and feeling confident. We securely proved that our first seed is better than the second seed of Europe. That doesn't mean that we're better than Europe as a region. I mean, hell, FlyQuest imploded the second they got to the tournament. But we were solidly top 5 here. We were solidly contending for upper spots where it's like, okay, when you go into Worlds, you watch this performance, and I'm excited to see Summer now, because if teams can look at this, we know Team Liquid is going to be committed to exactly who they are. We know that Cloud9 is a little bit more revamped. 100 Thieves is a younger version and like a little bit less mechanically talented. They don't have the impact, the Core JJ, those bigger names, and it's going to take time, but you see those same seeds being planted in 100 Thieves. It's very much them and TL kind of following that route. You have bigger names like Sven, like Licorice coming back. We're going to best of threes as a region. Like, there's so much to be positive about, and it just feels like we are going to start rewarding the things that we want to reward in the LCS, which means we're going to send better teams to these international events. And if teams can continue to follow the example that NRG and TL have learned, in that you do gotta grind, but you can do it in your unique ways that will allow you to be competitive. You can level up. Our North American players can compete mechanically with these international folks. It takes time to get to their level, but we can get there. That's not saying that we can win Worlds, but it is saying that we should have a goal that is unique for North America that I think we can do. And this is the task that it's going to seem outlandish, but it's what I want us to strive for. I want us as a region to try and get 2 teams out of Swiss stage this year. I know it seems ambitious given that NRG got out last year, and in 2022 and 2021, we didn't get anybody out. But think about how close this was with TL and T1, and how much if we can take those lessons and learn and push each other as a region, we can get there. We don't have to beat T1 to be able to get out of there. We have to be able to beat the 3 and 4 seeds from the LPL and LCK. We have to be able to beat the 2 seeds from Europe, the 1 seed from PCS. We can do that. We can legitimately get 2 teams out of groups if we keep this momentum going. And that's going to be a positive sign for the entire region, because then it's like, okay, we're starting to build. We're starting to do the things that we need to do. We might never be able to overcome our small player base size, but if we can consistently get teams out and follow in the lead that G2 is setting, then yeah, there's a bright future for this region. As for the rest of MSI, I will have one final video talking about it all after my reaction to the opening ceremony on Sunday. with North America now out, there's really nothing I can talk about at like long length when it comes to this. But I do want to throw my support out there for G2. I don't care whether some LCS fans and some LCS staff and like people around there like really don't want Europe to succeed. Believe me, I've had conversations with people that like just despise Europe and would rather see them lose. Bullshit. I want to see them win. I want to see them push this as far as they possibly can and be the role model that the rest of us should strive for in North America and in Europe. So G2, you have my support. I know you probably have the support of many NA fans who might not be as vocal, but do this. Beat T1, beat Gen G, and try your absolute damnedest to take down BLG in finals. You have shown enough to win this thing. It just is going to come down to you remaining true to yourself and having that clutch factor. You've got the NA faith on your side. I don't know what all that means at this point to you all. It might mean nothing at all. God, you guys are fun to watch. And please do it for the rest of the fucking world, because we do not want to see the LPL or LCK win this again. And you are the first team since yourselves to give us that level of hope and excitement. And it makes the entirety of League of Legends more fun because of it.